this is going to haunt you in a good way. It'll be one of those good juju little goblins that you see in those ancient Thai paintings when you go there and you're like, I don't really care. Where are the hookers? You know those ones? Well, I'm going to give you one now for free. So, watch the ads, by the way. Don't skip them. What I want you to do is the next time you have what is known as an instinct, and not in the way that you're thinking about it either, because you're thinking about a snake when it sees a mouse go past and goes, actually, you know what? No, I've changed my mind. That's exactly what I want from you, you reptile. I want you to have that response. Day-to-day life. I'll give you some examples of what I'm talking about, because then you might actually know what I'm talking about. But I think the classic one is waking up in the morning and you want to get out of bed, but then you just go, 5 more minutes. Now, this is a self-help trope I've ever heard one. You know when you want to get out of bed in the morning and you just don't do it? Cue really muffled laugh. Guilty as charged. Well, we all do it. The key is to train yourself to not do it. Now, I could go into the whole point about sleep patterns and how the fact that, once you go to sleep and you do that, you've kind of programmed your mind to be asleep for the next 90 minutes. So even if you wake up, you're like, I don't feel so good. But if you get up, you don't have that feeling. You do it instantly. You kind of just feel groggy for a couple of seconds, and then your brain just turns into one of those sound-off guys that yells at you in, American boot camps? What the fuck are they called? The guy with the Pharrell hat. He yells at you in your own head, and you're up and at him. Good to go. 16 hours of non-stop juju, baby. And so, what is happening there is usually what people do is, there's that constant feeling of procrastination that people talk about in their life, where they just don't do the big tasks in life because even thinking about it makes them feel stressed. What people don't understand is you're procrastinating all the time on every task you do. And it starts freaking you out when you notice this. You'll notice that in your head, you've got this thing saying, I should be doing this now. And then you just sort of ignore it and you move on with your life. And by moving on with your life, I mean just jizzing. That's usually, I'll do it later. That's usually what you usually, do. I know you. Don't pretend you don't. That's what I assume women do when they masturbate, just this phallus comes out. I've seen enough hentai to know. Now, so what happens is that you have these moments in your life that are constantly moving past, and you usually just think about procrastination of, I just don't want to do my uni assessment, or whatever the fuck you do, and you don't do it, and you see that as procrastination because it's just the most prominent one. The point is, in all day-to-day life, I should be cleaning my room, I should go to the supermarket, all of these things, these little laggedy things that happen. What happens is that if you don't act on them throughout the day, they start draining you psychologically. So my advice to you is to just act on them once you have the instinct. Once you have that little ping in your mind that says, you should be doing that. Have you ever thought about actually doing it? Because I don't a lot of the time. But I've been very conscious of it recently as a result of reading a book that was talking about it. And it's scary how much more productive you are. Just, you should do the dishes. And instead of going, nah, you just go up and do it, that's gone. Slated from your mind. First of all, there's just this little ping of accomplishment that goes off in your mind of, yay, good for you for actually not spending the entire day on the computer. What a concept. So you get a little pat on the head from your own head. That's always nice. But also what happens is you don't have it just constantly nagging you at the back of your head, just surfacing here and there in your day-to-day life. Same thing when it goes to talking about, talking to chicks or whatever. A lot of the time you just see an attractive woman, you don't go over to do it. But if you just say now and then you move, guess what happens? You're already moving, your brain just freaks out as you go, here we go! Then you make an ass of yourself and then you can get on with the rest of your day. And you feel better about it. You feel better about making an ass out of yourself than not. Every time. The worst thing in the man is that, that American Pie classic thing of like, dude, you bitched out. That is the worst when your brain just turns into that. So you've either got the sound off guy or you've got some dude with his cat backwards going, dude, you suck. So essentially what I'm saying is your brain's Sean William Scott. confirmed. Well, that's all that's in there, right? Yes, so when you have these little pings, I would strongly suggest that you get into the habit of acting on them. Most people do not. Most people don't even know that those pings are happening because it's kind of just a little faint voice. But for instance, when I want to do these videos, I hear that voice. Usually what happens is I go, oh yeah, no, I'll just keep writing this and whatever. Because look, basically, there's just this little resistance that happens when you do these videos because you don't know what you're going to say. And usually you say a bunch of dumb shit because you're just speaking extemporaneously. And you know that that happens, and so you don't want to do it, but you have to force yourself to do it. Well, not you. You don't have to force yourself to do impersonations of me doing myself on a camera. That is very specific, very esoteric, very useful advice, and I think it deserves a like. So, when you have that instinct, usually what happens is you talk yourself out of it, it goes to the wayside, you get another little ping, you should be doing that, and then that goes to the side, and so eventually what happens at the end of the day is you start procrastinating more, A, because you haven't established the habit of acting. But the second thing is, because you've in a way, you know that you've sold yourself out that day. And so instead, to distract yourself, you go on the net, you look at a bunch of stupid things, hellokitty.com. Is that what kids are into? I think that is what kids are actually into. But you look at all of that stuff, and it's mostly there, and I know that you understand that that is a distraction, but it's there to distract yourself from the things that you know your brain registered you should have been doing. That's what scares me about going on the net. Once you look at it through that paradigm, it's not so much this thing of they're sucking me in and I'm a victim. Yeah, that's true. That's one aspect of it. But sunshine, sometimes you got to take accountability for your own life. Okay, sweetie? And that is what you're bringing to the table. You aren't acting. And when you act, what happens is, just like with everything else, it becomes more habitual. So when you just sit in front of the computer, you have more and more reasons to sit in front of the computer because they just keep building up. And so to just drown that voice out, you just keep watching videos or whatever. But if you just went out and did just basic examples, cleaned your toilet, whatever it was, when you do that, then your brain says, okay, that's wiped. You get the little dopamine hit. Then there might be another little ping that comes on. You go and do that. And eventually what happens is, you know those big things that you're always talking about, I'm procrastinating on? That just starts handling itself because it snowballs. The act of acting just makes your brain think, what else can I be acting on? And you start wasting less time as a result. So, when people always say, how do I stop procrastinating on my uni assignment? There is tricks to stop yourself procrastinating from specifically that. But what you want to do is just get rid of the habit of procrastination altogether. And that means that every time you have one of those little pings in your mind of you should be doing this, go do it. And the way that you do that is you just circuit break. You just say in your head, now, or as Mel Robbins always says, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either of those things work. But the point is that you just get up and do it. You just, without thinking about it, go, do it. Doesn't matter what the task is. If your brain is telling you to do it, just do it. With obvious exceptions. Alright, so give me a like, give me more questions. Thank you so much for listening to this channel, seeing as there is no production on it whatsoever. None. And all the people that say get rid of that little thing on your wall, no, I'm keeping it there. It's my pet.